Hello, hello, welcome. Hi, everyone. Welcome. If you are here for the CEO Sabotage Solution Masterclass, you are in the right place. We're going to get started right on time. So thank you for being here on time. I am so excited to spend the next 75-ish minutes with you to walk you through some content to help you understand why the very thing you've probably been avoiding, which is doing the sometimes uncomfortable internal work, is the exact thing that's costing you time, team, and money in your business. Out of respect for your schedule and for mine, we are going to get started as soon as I see who is here with us. So go ahead in the chat, say hello. Let us know where you're joining us from. I see a couple of faces that I recognize. When I started this business 7 years ago, one of my goals was to have global reach and to provide service to women all over the world. So it's always such an honor, and it's always so exciting for me to see where we're connecting with people. So I'm going to take a quick sip and just see who's here and where you're joining from. Hi, Doreen. Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you. Northern California, 82 degrees. I am very jealous of that. Is it M-A-J-A? How do you pronounce that properly? Can we unmute you so I can get it right?
Yes, Maya.
Maya, beautiful. Thank you for correcting me. I have a thing about pronouncing people's names correctly. So Maya, thank you and welcome. So glad you're joining us from the Netherlands. Awesome. Yeah, rainy in Wisconsin. It is not beautiful here in North Carolina today. Doreen, I'm so happy that you're here with us. Welcome. So glad to see you. Okay, let's get started. I'm Kelly Ruda. So if you are brand new to me, welcome. I'm going to be your host and guide today. We are joined by the lead process coach here at Kelly Ruda International, Dr. Kelly Saganak. She's going to be available to connect with you and to answer questions throughout in the chat. So you can send her a private message, or if it's something that you think will be helpful to everybody, you can just drop it openly in the chat. So please, I encourage you to take advantage of her many decades of expertise and her presence here today. So you walk away feeling like this was time well spent and that you were served really, really well. So again, if you're new to me, my name's Kelly Ruda. I am the founder and the owner and CEO of Kelly Ruda International. I was a clinical psychotherapist for 2 decades, and 7 years ago, I left that career to answer a bigger calling to work with female entrepreneurs who are ambitious and are hungry, but don't want to sacrifice their lives to own businesses, just like you. My zone of genius is taking that 27 years, really my last 27 years of experience and expertise in working with human thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and behavior change, and guiding business owners to safely make internal shifts that really powerfully impact your external results in business to help you break through the obstacles that sabotage your time, your team, and your revenue over and over again, no matter how many different tactics you seem to try. That's what we are here to help you learn how to do differently. But if you ask my clients what I really do, they'll tell you is we, the team, help you unlearn all of the perceived limits that you've picked up along your journey, so you can open the door to receive so much more fulfillment and freedom and joy and all the things you really, really want. And the truth is, right now, a lot of people are feeling the pain of not having enough of any of those things: joy, peace, fulfillment, contentment, those sorts of things. So for those of you that are new to me, please know I am so happy that we're getting to connect live here. And before I teach you all of the goodness, which I'm going to get to very quickly, it's probably important for you to know why it's even worth your time or your attention to listen to me to begin with. So as I mentioned, I left a 20-year career with a fully booked out private psychotherapy practice with a waiting list for 2 very important reasons. Number one, I realized that while my clients were getting really incredible results and healing and change, I was teetering on complete and total burnout. Lots of hours, lots of energy, lots of crisis management, very little pay. The work was humbling and fulfilling and very purposeful. But I realized I could take the set of skills and expertise that I had, and I could use it in a different way because I was no longer available for struggling, hustling, shrinking away from shining my light, and making money in alignment with my expertise and unique gifts. The second reason is when I looked into building a business in the, and I use air quotes because I don't use this term anymore, but mindset coaching niche for entrepreneurs, I was actually really appalled at what I saw. Things like zero barrier to entry. You can literally call yourself a mindset coach and have no training whatsoever. I was seeing coaching certifications that could be obtained in anywhere from a weekend to a few months with no universally agreed upon ethics, guidelines, or requirements for practice across the field, no requirement for formal education in psychology or related fields, and a really disturbing practice of mindset coaches telling this story of, this is what I went through and I made it through, so that qualifies me to help you. And it does not. That is a recipe for mental, emotional, financial, and spiritual disaster. I decided to step in and change that and raise the bar in the industry. So the truth about me as a person, though, as a human, is that I've been managing PTSD and depression for myself for 36 years. I'm 50. I've also fallen on my face more times than I can count, building 3 different businesses in 27 years. Failed launches, failed ads, hires that were a total disaster, mismanagement of money, you name it. But I've been able to get back up time and time again, pivot several times in my business to meet the needs of the business industry, and not lose sight of my value, my worth, and my purpose during all of that change. And I don't do it from sheer force or will, but because I've mastered a set of internal skills, the skills I now teach other people, that I've honed from my training, education, and thousands of hours of experience. So this masterclass is not about vision boards, and it's not me chanting and cheering. If I can do it, you can do it. You are grown-ass women, successful in your own right, and you don't need cheerleaders. What you need and deserve is to learn from someone who has a level of expertise and a level of mastery who can guide you safely through information to transformation. So today we're going to guide you through a deep dive into the real reasons why you sabotage your time, your team, and your revenue. So now would be the best time for you to grab your favorite notebook or journal and a pen and close out the 56 or so tabs that I know you have open. No judgment. I had to close out all of mine too before I came on here. And give yourself the gift of full presence and full attention, because what I'm about to teach you is going to save you time, it's going to save you money, and it's going to save you pain. Pain from my 27 years of learning and being trained, so that you don't have to spend that much time learning all of the things and learning how to implement them for yourself. Make sure to stay to the end, because as a thank you from us to you, we are going to give you a resource that's going to help you quickly calculate how much your mind left unchecked and unchanged is costing your actual business. We're going to give the link to that calculator at the end of the workshop. So hang with us until we wrap up. Okay, so during this masterclass, we are going to dive into 4 key points. The first thing we're going to do is reconnection. Reconnection to clear desire that feeds your vision for your business. That the stress of the last 2 years, the stress that almost seems unending right now, we're all being barraged with it globally, may have made your vision, your passion, your clarity muddy. So we want to connect back into that. because if you don't build a business from a clear foundation, then everything is very, very wobbly and it's very easily sort of brought to its knees under stress. The second thing is I'm going to teach you what the 4 main types of invisible saboteurs are. That is a term I am trademarking. Really simply means limiting beliefs or subconscious programs. I'm going to teach you what they are and why they sabotage all of your strategic efforts to grow your business with ease. Then we're going to calculate how much your limiting beliefs are financially costing your business, not to mention costing you things like peace and fulfillment and freedom with every passing day that they're kind of left hanging out in your subconscious mind without change. And then finally, and probably most importantly, how do you begin that change process? How do you begin to change what has been getting in your way, but without more hustle, more struggle, or more hiding, shrinking away? So for those of you who've been sort of looking at the business landscape and thinking, I know I need to do something. And for those of you who've just been investing and doing more of the same things over and over and over again, and kind of pulling your hair out saying, I don't know what else to do, but I know I need to do something. This is it. You've landed in the right place. So let me know in the comments if you're ready to dive in, if you're ready to receive this, if you're coming at it with an open mind. And let me just welcome some of the people who have joined since I started. Hi, Sue. It's nice to see you. Hi, Jane. Hi, Maria, Katie, Susie, Zara. Welcome. So happy you're here. Hi, Carla. Nice to see you today. So let's dive into the key points. I'm going to take a quick sip. Down here in the South, allergy season is kicking in. So I'll be sipping on my iced coffee throughout. So key point number 1 is reconnection. Reconnection to the clear vision and desire. You're going to hear me use that word a lot. I use it a lot with my clients. Several of them are here. Clear desire for your business and your life, that the stress of the last at least 2 years may have really muddied for you. So I want you to understand that my clients are women like you, ambitious, driven, talented, and already successful to a measurable degree. But what I also know, and I am certainly not immune to this, is that the last 2 years have been a time of particularly pronounced chronic stress. The addition of the tragedies happening in Ukraine right now, on top of geopolitical things that have gone on, the pandemic that has gone on, climate change that has gone on, all kinds of things have left really everybody I know feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, stressed, sad, worried, fearful. We as human beings are not built to thrive under chronic stress. So for a lot of people, what's been going on has thrown you into survival mode. And when you are in survival mode, it's really easy to disconnect from the things that drive your dreams, because you're not thinking about dreams when you're trying to survive. You're thinking about surviving. So many people have also realized that while they may be in therapy, and if you are, I applaud you, therapy doesn't always address the impact of stress on business. So I want to begin today by validating and acknowledging you are not alone if this is what you're feeling. I have a Voxer account full, literally full of messages from super intelligent, stressful women saying to me how fearful they are, how disconnected they feel from their businesses and the original dreams that kickstarted this entire business journey as the natural, a very natural outcome of chronic stress. And I want to walk you through a quick exercise to plug you back in to what matters, because that deep place inside of you is the place that all business beautiful business ideas are birthed. Your ideas to start a business, grow a business, scale a business, pivot a business, or completely scrap it and start over are all birthed from this same place. And you cannot follow a blueprint for your own success and happiness that's based on a design meant for somebody else's success and happiness. So unless you're driving, I want to, for just a minute, I want you to just put everything down and close your eyes. Just close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep belly breath. We've been doing a lot of shallow chest breathing. So close your eyes and breathe in through your nose and expand your chest, but then go on to completely fill your belly with air. Hold it for a moment and then fully release it. And then take another breath just like that, in through your nose. Try to slow it down a little. Fully expand your chest. Breathe into your belly. Hold it. Exhale. Keep your eyes closed and just kind of tune into that feeling of your body just starting to relax. Maybe your shoulders are dropping a little lower away from your ears. Maybe your back or your neck are starting to release a little bit. Maybe that sort of buzzy, stressed feeling is starting to calm just a little bit with your breath. And with your eyes closed, I want you to just take a moment to travel back in your mind to that time when the first seed of going into business was planted. Let yourself just revisit, sort of remembering, reminiscing that time when you had all of those ideas flooding your mind about what you could be doing or who you could be doing it with, how much money you could make, how much impact you could have, why you were going to make this sort of big leap of faith. And just sit with the feelings that you remember from that time. Maybe it was excitement or hope or passion. Whatever your personal mix of feelings about that is, about all the possibilities that were in front of you, just breathe and feel those for a minute. Let all of that come back. Now I want you to take another deep breath, exhale and open your eyes. And in your notebook or journal, I'm going to read off a couple of phrases for you to write down. You can just write the answers. Dr. Kelly is going to drop the actual phrases into the chat if you want to screenshot them to revisit later. But right now, I just want you to answer from where you are, from remembering. So the first one is very simply, I started this business because I wanted to what? Keep it simple. It might be one word, might be a phrase. I started this business because I wanted to what? Number two is, I started this business to improve what? Maybe it was finances or free time, stress levels, improve your industry, a combination of those things. But just jot some of those thoughts down real quick. Don't overthink it too much. Next is, I started this business to serve blank. Next, I started this business because I wanted to receive what? As women, it is so easy for us to only focus on service delivery and forget that we also own businesses to receive. So I started this business because I wanted to receive what? And this last one, I really want you to pause for a minute. You're going to come up with 3 answers. I started this business because I wanted to feel more of these 3 emotions every single day. What did you want to feel more of in your business every day? Pick 3 emotions. They might be very far off from what you feel right now, and that's okay. We're reconnecting back to what you originally desired. So 3 emotions you wanted to feel more of. And then I want you to be brave and drop some of those emotions in the chat. What did you want to feel more of as the result of owning your business? Let me take a sip and then I'll see what you pop into the chat. More independence. Yes. And for a lot of people, another way to say that is freedom. Yeah. More empowered. Yeah. I hear that from a lot of people that leave corporate jobs. They really want their own business and they want to feel empowered, making decisions and also designing it on their own terms. What else? Relaxed, stress-free, independent, more joy. Yes, Sue, I am hearing this so often lately. I wanted more joy in my work. Maya says confidence, excitement, calm. Yes, yeah, I love all of this. This is so incredibly important for you to remember. Let me tell you why. Yes, yes, quality of life. Thank you for honoring that. Financial independence. Yes. I think you all can probably look at each other's comments and nod your head and feel that way. Maria says freedom, flexibility. Yes, I have 2 neurodiverse kids myself, and I completely understand how important that flexibility to be available both to your business and your family and not wanting to choose between them is. I want to ask all of you to really take a minute and honor these feelings, because I did this exercise with you, not just for touchy-feely reasons, but because there's a really practical reason, and that is this. Human beings, the way we are wired is that we choose goals for our businesses and everything else really in life based on what we would believe we will feel when we achieve them. I'm going to say that again. We set our measurable goals in business because what we believe we will feel when we achieve them. So when you set a revenue goal, or you set we call them Freedom Fridays. I don't work on Fridays. I set that goal because of what I believed I would feel when I achieved them. So your feelings are really powerful drivers of your business, but feelings and business, feelings have been blacklisted really from business forever. And I'm here to tell you that that's nonsense. It's nonsense, because they are some of the most powerful drivers of tenacity and resilience and clarity and of your business decisions, who you hire, how you manage your time, and how you set your money goals. We all want to feel more of some things and less of others. And that does not change in our business building endeavors. None of us got into business to be more stressed out. None of us got into business to feel backed into a corner, riddled with guilt because we don't feel like we can be there for our partners, spouses, children, charity work, houses of worship, community service, or ourselves. So what I want you to understand, though, is that right now, there are things sabotaging your ability to access more of those feelings that you want and desire through your work. And it's important for you to know which of those feelings matter the most to you, because none of them are wrong. Some of you may, have started your business wanting to feel more passion, more fulfillment, more excitement. But today, 3, 5, 10 years later into your business, you might want to feel more peace, more contentment, more hope. Regardless, you have things going on in your mind right now that sabotage your time, team, and revenue, and also sabotage what you are deeply desiring more of, which is to feel more of what you wrote down, to feel more of that freedom, that quality of life, that calm feeling, that financial independence, that empowerment. So taking a few moments to regularly throughout the year, reconnect to your deepest desires around business and how you want to feel while you make money, when you're setting up your weekly calendar, your annual calendar, while you are building your team, and how you want to feel about your team. That's one of the most grounding, centering activities you can do for clarity and direction, but also for reconnection to self, because you own the business. How you feel about that business matters. It matters a lot, and it drives the decisions you make in your business. So now let's dive into what is actually sabotaging all of your strategic and tactical efforts to either maintain a business with ease or grow a business with ease. And that brings us to key point number 2, which is the types of sabotage. What are the 4 main types of invisible saboteurs? And why do they sabotage your time, team, and revenue? So many of you ended up in this workshop because you took our invisible saboteur assessment. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes. So if you haven't taken it, I strongly encourage you to do so as soon as this workshop is over. Dr. Kelly's going to drop the link into the chat for you. Because what I'm about to teach is going to be so much more personally relevant to you if you know your outcome of the assessment. If you haven't taken it yet, no worries, hang tight, because this is still going to make a lot of sense to you, and you'll pretty clearly suspect which outcome you'll get. You'll probably nail it. So if you did take it, pull out your result now. I trademarked the term invisible saboteur because it is the perfect description of what subconscious programs or limiting beliefs do to our dreams in business and in life. Subconscious programs, limiting beliefs, they are interchangeable, are very simply beliefs that lie below our consciousness, that sabotage or limit what we're trying to do, where we're trying to take our businesses, and who we are trying to become as leaders of successful, meaningful, impactful businesses. They're very hard to see, and yet they wreak havoc. They sort of remind me of bacteria or viruses. Very hard to see unless you put them under a microscope, but holy cow, can they wreak havoc. So you can have the most beautiful business model filled with elegant, high converting, typically, strategies and tactics that were taught to you by outstanding coaches and consultants, and still find yourself in a place where you are resisting raising your prices or selling your offers. You are allowing scope creep to hijack your schedule and your productivity. You're holding back on doing things like video, writing, speaking, or other kinds of marketing and visibility efforts, and being head down, doing the work instead of hiring and delegating the work to A players. I mean, killer team members like I have so that you can lead the company and step into a thought leadership role. This is not happening, friends, because you don't know any better. You do. You're brilliant. It's what you aren't aware of. It's what you don't know that's pulling the rug out from underneath you. And what you aren't aware of lies in your subconscious mind. This is where you carry programs, beliefs that override your intelligence, that override your judgment, that override your rational thinking. This is why you can know more and still not do better. This is why you can invest over and over and over in strategic business coaching or online courses and fill your mind full of very useful knowledge and still not see an ROI. So very quickly, I could nerd out on this all day long, but for our purposes, you need to know there are two parts of your mind that impact your business: the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is where your rational thinking, your creativity, your judgment, your intellect, and your decision-making reside. It's the place where we have self-awareness. We're aware of our thoughts, our feelings, our perceptions of people in the world around us. It's the seat of our self-awareness. And because of that, it feels vast. It feels unending. But cognitive neuroscientists, and I love me some science and research, cognitive neuroscientists tell us that we are really only conscious of about 5% of our cognitive activity. Basically, what that means is that most of our decisions, our resulting actions and behavior, our triggered emotions depend upon the 95% of stuff that's going on behind the scenes, beyond our conscious awareness. So if you think of your mind kind of like a computer, the conscious mind is the keyboard and the monitor. We can choose input, we can watch the output, but it's not where the programs reside. The subconscious mind is where the programs reside. In the subconscious mind, there is no self-awareness. There is no consciousness. There's no will. There's no judgment. It's got two jobs: store programs, run programs. Store programs, run programs. It has no say in the quality of those programs. In other words, you can have beliefs that totally hijack your business, and the subconscious mind does not care. It just keeps running the program, running the program. So we're born with programs in our subconscious mind to run like our physical processes: breathing, elimination, heartbeat, digestion, those things, so we don't have to think about them all day. Can you imagine if you had to use your energy to think about that stuff all day? You'd be exhausted. You're already exhausted, probably. But imagine how much worse that would be. But programs that contain beliefs about ourselves, about the world around us, about money, visibility, power, success, those start to get programmed in around birth. And most of the beliefs that we have right now in the subconscious mind were programmed in between birth and about 7 years old. So you can be a 50-year-old with a 7-year-old running the show. This happens early on in life because of messages that we're exposed to over and over from family, school, culture, community. This is why once you start observing what triggers you in your business, it may bring back childhood memories, or you may feel like a kid, or you may look at something and go, I'm acting like a child. What is this all about? Because in a way, a kid's running your business. Now, after 7, we continue to pick up these subconscious programs when we're exposed to 2 types of things. Number 1, traumatizing events. You can see why right now it's very easy to pick up a belief that the world is not a safe place. And for many, it's not. Or from repeated exposure to messages that come with a strong emotional reaction like fear or anger or shame. It is incredible to me how much shame comes up with the people that I work with in my programs. Again, I want to just sort of normalize this for you. This is why we can consciously and intellectually know something, but still sabotage ourselves. Let me give you some examples so that you can start to resonate with this a little bit. I grew up hearing, we can't afford that, over and over and over again. The crazy thing is, I grew up with money. I grew up with money, but I grew up with people who had a scarcity mindset around money. Later on, as an adult, even when I had made my own money, I would often find myself saying, I really would like that, but I can't afford that, even though I had the money. So the logic and the reality of the situation had very little to do with my purchase decision or my investment decisions. The belief bred habits around scarcity, and I walked around feeling like there was never enough. So I could set money goals, 10,000, 100,000, 500,000. And when I would achieve them, I still didn't feel like it was enough. Many of you may feel that way about time because you were exposed to similar messages about being too busy for this or that, not ever having enough time in the day or week. This may cause you to skip things like self-care or feeling pulled between your business and your family, or your business and your hobbies, or your business and vacations or philanthropic interests because you believe there's just never enough time. Well, these kinds of beliefs around money and safety and visibility and so many things are passed through generations of families and are often connected to race, culture, religion, gender, and family norms. So if you ever got the message, we don't do it that way in this family, you know what I'm talking about. Some of you even understand this about the unspoken messages in your family. Things like, if we didn't talk about it, if we don't talk about it, it didn't really happen. So the subconscious mind, again, is like the hard drive of the computer. You can buy the most beautiful, sleek, amazing Mac, beautiful monitor, ergonomic keyboard, the whole deal. But if you load it with programs that don't create the output you want, you're not going to be very happy with the experience of your computer. That's the truth of your mind. And the kicker of all of this is that the subconscious mind is the captain of your ship. It is the captain of your business. It's the captain of your behavior. It's the captain of all of your triggers. It's the captain of everything. So most of what we're doing in building business is we're filling our intellect with learning more, learning more, learning more. But if you don't get the beliefs that undermine taking action on what you're learning out of the way, what you learn is not going to matter. It's not going to matter. So let's do a quick exercise to make this real to you and relevant to your current business. I'm going to read off a few phrases, and I want you to write the first thing that comes to mind, whether you actually intellectually agree with it or not. So you may hear something and go, well, that's bull. Write it down anyway. First thing that comes to mind. And I'm going to move really quickly through these phrases. I'm going to give you like 3 seconds to write down what pops into your mind. Just write whatever comes to mind. And then Dr. Kelly will drop these questions, or these phrases, I should say, into the chat later. So grab your pen. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1 to 4. We're just going to do 4 today. You just need one line for each. And here we go. No thinking, just the first thing you hear that comes to mind. Number 1, money doesn't grow blank. Number 2, rich people are blank. Number 3, you cannot be successful in business and be a good blank. And number 4, if I become wealthy, my family and friends will think I am blank. Okay, put your pens down and drop into the chat what popped into your head. What popped into your head? Money doesn't grow blank on trees. Yep. So many people have been exposed to that message. Rich people are fun, so that's a positive message. You cannot be successful and be a good mom. Rich people are evil. Rich people are prideful, greedy, lucky. Do you see? Yeah, if I be, this is a big one, Michelle. I hear this all the time. If I become wealthy, my family and friends will think I'm snotty. I've heard snooty, greedy. I've heard some version of they'll think I'm better than they are. These are subconscious programs. That's why they pop up so quickly. I didn't give you time to think about them because intellectually, you may think, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to be snotty. I'm not going to be prideful. I can be nurturing. I can be a good mom. I can be a good partner or wife, a good friend, a good daughter. I know I can be generous. That's your intellect. This is your subconscious. And as I said, your subconscious will override your conscious intellect 9 out of 10 times. So you may know, yeah, hi, Jessica, welcome. So glad you're here. Yeah, they're going to think I'm out of touch. You hear that sometimes with cultural messages. Don't forget where you came from. We've all heard Jennifer Lopez say, like, I remember I'm still Jenny from the hood. That's saying to people, I don't want you to think I'm better than you. So it's even in J-Lo's mind. So you may either know that these things aren't actually true, or you might feel they're true down to your core for you, even if you don't believe it for other people. You may have a positive answer come out to one or two of them, which is awesome. That means you were exposed to positivity about that topic, or you're my client and you're in here and you did the work to change what you originally thought. But for many people, these statements really elicit a negative belief because that's what you've been exposed to. After seeing thousands of clients in almost 30 years, I began to see 4 groups of beliefs that drive sabotaging behaviors emerge. And I want to review them with you really quickly. These are the 4 outcomes of our assessment. I know, Maya, I know. Look what Maya just wrote. Rationally, I don't believe any of these things that I just wrote. Exactly. This is the perfect example of what I mean. You can rationally have a set of intellectual beliefs, and subconsciously, you are getting sabotaged over and over and over again. So here are the 4 types. Number 1 is the hustler. The hustler typically believes some version of, if I slow down, my business is going to fall apart. This belief convinces you that it is not safe for you to not go 1,000 miles an hour in your business all the time. It's not safe for you to take a step back, to build your business mindfully, intentionally, strategically through systems, processes, intentional hiring, time management. When you are a hustler, you will have a tendency to respond to every challenge in business by adding more to your plate, working longer hours. You're likely inclined to do everything yourself. And you resist things like hiring, delegating, and prioritizing things for self-care, fully unplugged vacations, no sneaking off with the cell phone and the laptop, because you're convinced that if you stop doing, everything will absolutely crumble. The second type is the struggler. The struggler typically believes business success, business building has to be hard in order for me to deserve to have what I desire. So if I'm not killing myself to do it, I am not entitled to the outcomes. You're convinced that if your work has more ease or feels easy, you don't deserve to make more time or money doing it. So you may be addicted to endless learning, endless courses, and endless business coaching, endless strategies. You may tend to overcomplicate everything because, well, if it's easy, then I didn't earn it. But the harder you try, the more exhausted, overwhelmed, and stuck you become. So you end up acting as if positive outcomes are only the result of being constantly stressed and strained and overworked. The third type is the diminisher. The diminisher typically believes some version of it is safer for me to shrink than to shine my light. You are likely convinced it's safer for you to stay in your comfort zone and out of the limelight. I see this a lot with people who are in systems and ops. And that leaves you kind of operating at the same level over and over and over again, rather than taking the risks required to put yourself out there in a way that grows your business, shining your light out for people to see. So as a result, you end up settling for less than you desire, leaving you feeling unfulfilled, or maybe even resentful of what other people have been able to do, doubting your business path, constantly frustrated by your lack of growth. And you might even settle for results that are good enough, but your heart and soul are yearning to leap towards so much more. And then the fourth type is the avoider, who typically believes I'm better off working on the business than working on myself, because hard ROI comes from strategy and tactics. So their avoiders are convinced they should prioritize the doing of the strategy over the working on themselves. They typically really like to avoid discomfort because there is a fear that working on yourself won't grow your bank account and that it's just too uncomfortable and too hard. I'm too ashamed. I'm too fearful. I'm too messed up. It's too much. Avoiders often end up focusing on things like sales and marketing and systems out of avoidance of doing the uncomfortable internal work that helps you move out of the way what's actually holding you back in business and life. Now, you may find that you're a mix of two types. There's usually a predominant type, but you may do, a couple of these things. And be assured that if that's where you're at, that's very, very common. But this is the really important thing to lean into. Regardless of which outcome you get in the assessment, there is one subconscious belief that I've seen in every single human I have ever worked with in almost 30 years, regardless of which type you are. And it cuts very deep and it's very uncomfortable to feel, which is why most business owners avoid doing the deeper work. It's why I tell my clients all the time, like, you people are in the 1%, because you are the ones who are willing to do this work to move the needle. Most people avoid this, but it's exactly why you need to be doing it. So grab your journal again or your notebook, and you need one line to fill in the blank here. Take a deep breath, and I want you to write the first thing that comes to mind, because nobody's here to judge, including and especially me. Here's the phrase: I am not blank enough to build the business and life of my dreams. Whatever, first thing that comes to mind, put it down. I am not blank enough to build the business and life of my dreams. Put your pen down, take a deep breath, and then type your answer in the chat. I want you all to see that what you think, feel, believe is not weird. It's not strange. It's not even unique, friends. I'm not smart enough. I'm not experienced enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not disciplined enough. I am not lucky enough, good or smart enough. I want you to see what the other women in this group, no matter how many times I run this masterclass a year, whether I run it I do a 5-day version, I do a 1-day version, I've done a 9-day version, same answers every time. Disciplined, consistent, good, smart, every single time. It is painful to acknowledge that somehow, somewhere, you were taught that you are not enough. Because the descriptor doesn't matter, friends. It doesn't matter if you wrote smart enough, young enough, old enough, educated enough, brave enough. It doesn't matter. The belief is somehow I am not enough as I am to build a business that serves and that sets me up to receive. That is painful. And when you add that to all the other programs that we all have, by the way, myself included, this is work I've done on myself for a decade. This is why we struggle. It's not because you're smart enough, not smart enough to implement strategies and tactics. Get out of here. No way. That's not it. How can you possibly hire and delegate to create time and space on your calendar? How can you possibly market yourself with confidence in a way that magnetizes people? How on earth can you raise your prices to be in alignment with your zone of genius, or even believe you have a zone of genius, when this belief, I am not enough, is constantly in the background, in triggering your feelings, triggering thoughts, doubts, fears, overwhelm? How could you do this with ease if that's what's back there? Which brings us to key point number 3. This is where we connect all of the dots. And I can show you how carrying beliefs like I am not enough and the beliefs that come with being a hustler, a struggler, a diminisher, an avoider cost you time, team, revenue, along with everything else. We all know what it feels like to make a decision in business that costs us precious time on our calendar, costs us peace in our hearts, costs us money that was so important, costs us this knowing that we can be present for family and other things that matter, and we can be fully present in our businesses and serve with our full selves. Most of you also know that there are decisions that you've made that have cost you hiring or made hiring, finding, vetting, onboarding an A-player team member, have made that really hard or next to impossible, made it difficult to help that person excel because you slip into micromanaging or hesitating to delegate or not enrolling them in the mission of your company. So whether you know the outcome of your assessment or not, you probably have a pretty good idea of what you are. And each type combined with this I am not enough sabotages all of your business efforts based on the beliefs. Efforts that steal your time, your joy, your productivity, your peace of mind, and your money. It steals money right off the table. You just leave it there, actually, on the table. And I'm going to quickly walk you through an exercise that gives you just like the tiniest little snapshot of how much money you're leaving on the table based on one belief. And we all have many. With my clients, we peel the onion, we find them all, we pull them up, we get rid of them, we replace them. This is just one belief, the belief that I am somehow not enough. So in your notebook or your journal, I want you to number from 1 to 6. Okay. And I just want you to, with the best ballpark that you can, answer these questions. Dr. Kelly's going to pop these in the chat as well. Number 1, what is your primary service or flagship offer currently priced at? Now, if you happen to be in something like real estate and you work on percentages, just ballpark what it would be. But if you're not, if you're in another industry and you sell a package, an offer, a course, something like that, what is your main offer currently priced at? Write that on line number 1. Number 2, in the last 12 months, approximately how much gross revenue has that one offer brought into your business? So how much money have you made from just that? We're going to keep it simple, just that one offer in the last 12 months. Now, if you no longer believed that you were inadequate, not worthy, not valuable, not enough, whatever your descriptive word was, smart enough, good enough, whatever the word is, if that belief was no longer present, no longer triggered your emotions, no longer undermined your decisions, how much money do you think you could potentially make on that one offer in the next 12 months? In other words, if you sold 5 of those and you made 50 grand carrying around that belief, how many of those do you think you could sell without that belief in the next 12 months? And now here's where simple math comes in. Subtract the amount you made in the last 12 months from the amount you will likely make in the next 12 months. And write that number down. That is what one limiting belief is potentially costing you on one offer alone. And your last step is multiply that number times 3. That is what not changing that one belief will cost you on one offer if you leave it that way for the next 3 years. That's what you're leaving on the table. Now be brave and drop your numbers in the chat. We often hear anywhere from 50 grand in a year to over $1 million in 3 years and anywhere in between. So don't be afraid to drop what your numbers are in the chat, because people write it down and they're like, holy shit, 90,000, $84,500. Is that in a year or in 3 years, ladies? 1 year. So yeah, $84,500 in 1 year, 360 grand in 3 years, $270,000 in the next 3 years. This is one offer, 180 grand in 3 years. And I think you're probably lowballing it, Jessica, to be honest with you. I think you're probably underpricing based on that number. This is one offer, friends, one offer. And it's what one belief is hijacking. Imagine what that number is when we look at all your limiting beliefs and all of your offers in your business, or your lack of offers in your business. When I first began this work on myself, I unearthed an entire journal full. I'm not lying. I'd been a therapist for a long time. I was shocked at how many of these subconscious limiting beliefs I had. I filled a journal with them. Beliefs about my worth, about the value of my service, whether or not I deserved to have that kind of wealth, the beliefs about how money could have power over the kind of person I am. It could make me greedy or selfish or unlovable. And those beliefs triggered fear, doubt, anxiety, anger, shame, guilt. And they impacted how efficient, how consistent, how effective I was in pricing, hiring, marketing, being visible, systems, sales, everything. Exactly. Zara says, I know I can make $250K in a year. Hasn't happened. And I know it's not for lack of trying, because nobody comes to me and says, I've just been sitting on my yoga mat waiting for the money to drop out of the cloud and land in my lap. I don't attract those kinds of people. These beliefs also stole time, stole money, but they also cost me really my confidence, and they cost me fun. I did not leave a job to build a business to not have fun. Ask my clients. We do some serious work together, but we laugh a lot too. It cost me gratitude. It cost my self-confidence on camera, on stage, on podcasts. I struggled with calling myself an expert, even though I had passed that 10,000 hour mastery level too many years ago to count. And each belief was costing me potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. I knew I was meant for more, and I knew that it was impacting my mental health, my physical wellness, my fulfillment, my joy, and probably several $1,000,000. And I decided I was not okay with that. I was not okay with that. So it's time for me to craft a powerful solution, which brings us to key point number 4. How do you begin to change your inner saboteurs so you can finally amplify your results, but amplify your service out into the world to build a business that supports other people, but supports your life and your dreams? Now, I can't distill magically 27 years of experience and expertise into this short period of time, but I do want you to walk away with some tangible, actionable steps to kickstart your transformation with your new knowledge and awareness, because more information without a path for transformation is freaking useless, friends. It's useless. It's useless. You don't need more clogged up here. You need a way to take what you learn and turn it into change. So number 1 is you're going to get insanely honest about what you deeply desire. You're not going to shrink it. You're not going to minimize it. You're not going to tell yourself surface answers anymore. Most people answer the question, what do I want? What I'm asking you to do, what I ask my clients to do, is answer a deeper question. It's perfectly fine to want nice things. I want nice things. I have nice things. I have an appreciation for finer things. But if you ask me what I deeply desire, and that's what I'm asking you to ask yourself, my answer is to know that I have truly helped other people, that I have contributed to women creating financial freedom and independence through personal mastery, to give significant amounts of money to charities, and to know that I have more than enough time and money to experience the amazingness that life and the world has to offer. That's what I deeply desire. My convertible is fun. I love my convertible. It is so much fun. But having ample space on my calendar and the money to use it to create powerful experiences and memories with people who matter to me, that's the real stuff. That's the best there is. That's the difference. And that answer, knowing what I deeply desire, is an anchor during business storms. It is my why. It is my compass. It is my North Star. It is my inspiration. It is my reason for running the business. It's the expression. My business becomes the expression of the yearnings that are uniquely mine and come from that deep desire. So key number 1, or step number 1, is take the time to figure out your deepest desires, your deep yearnings, because they are the motivators to do the uncomfortable work of removing obstacles to your dreams, to building a business that is aligned with you and your life and your dreams, not somebody else's Instagram feed, not somebody else's Facebook profile, not somebody else's TikTok or Twitter feed. Yours. Doesn't matter what anybody else wants or what anybody else is doing. Number 2 is I want you to start using a journal differently. You're going to use your journal to shift your subconscious mind. Inside the Amplified CEO program, I teach a simple but very powerful proprietary process for reprogramming your subconscious mind. You can take 40 years of stuff that's programmed in there and undo it in a matter of months. And that process is based on using your mind and your brain, how your brain functions. And it's based on gathering evidence in a way that engages both your mind and your brain in a different way than you're using it right now. So my action step for you today is to begin to create change on a brain level and on a subconscious mind level, is to start to use your journal differently. How? Instead of only writing down your thoughts and feelings, which is perfectly valid, by the way, better out than in, I always say, I want you to feed your brain. And I want you to feed your brain by gathering evidence of what you desire, not of what you already believe. So if you already believe that something's impossible, this is not happening for me, I just can't do that, I don't deserve that, I'm not good enough, you're going to find evidence for the possibility that that could be totally different. Evidence of abundance where you believe there is scarcity. Evidence of safety where you believe there is only everything on fire. Evidence of more space, more time, more money, whatever it is you want more of. So at the end of every day, when you are tired and you are getting ready to go to sleep, even though that seems like the worst time to write something in your journal, for your mind and your brain, it is the best time. You're going to stop and write down 3 examples of evidence that what you want, you can have, you can receive. It exists. You're allowed. Why? Because to change your perception of something being possible, of it existing, of you having permission, you have to change the way your brain is wired. To change the way your brain is wired, you got to get it to fire differently. Your brain is wired to believe what you experienced yesterday, last month, last year, a decade ago, not what you want to experience tomorrow. So if you believe you have to hustle, struggle, diminish, or avoid in order to be okay, your brain needs new evidence, friends, to fire differently, to wire differently. Over time, if you do this night after night, this new firing will basically rewire your brain and your connection, and will change your perception. And the reason this is important is you cannot receive what you cannot perceive. If your brain can't see it, you won't be able to have it. That's why doing the work to shift your perception of time, money, success, business ownership, visibility, all of those things is so imperative. So every day before bed, crack out that journal and write down your 3 pieces of evidence. Tip number 3 is a very simple but not easy shift. And that is the shift from judging yourself to observing yourself. We ambitious women are one of the roughest crowds on the planet. We are known to have insanely high expectations, swift and harsh punishments of ourselves for perceived failures. We are meaner to ourselves than we would ever be to anybody else. But you cannot leap from all of that judgment into transformation of yourself. That is some magical bullshit. That is not the way it works. You can begin to build a bridge in your mind, your heart, and your brain by paying attention to your thoughts and by suspending judgment of your thoughts and feelings by being curious. You cannot simultaneously judge yourself and be playfully curious. Being playfully curious, like, what's really going on here, is a habit. It's a practice that becomes a habit. And over time, it leads to innovation, creativity, advanced problem solving, all things that business leaders and owners require. But it also allows you to extend yourself some grace, friends, not pity, empathy, compassion, grace, and some patience with yourself and your business journey. Imagine what you could accomplish with just a little more of that. So each day, check in with your thoughts. And if they're critical, stop, pause, and shift into curious observation. I wonder what that's all about. I wonder why I'm thinking that way. I wonder why I'm feeling shame, embarrassment, guilt. I wonder what triggered that. I wonder why I feel this. That's curious. That's curiosity. That is not judgment. We do not create what we desire, our dreams, from judgment. And then lastly, run the numbers, friends. Run the numbers. In a few minutes, I'm going to give you a link to the Inner Saboteur Cost Calculator. And in it, you're going to write out, you're going to start to brain dump some of these limiting beliefs you have about time, hiring, visibility, money, how they impact different areas of business. And then you're going to be able to calculate what they're costing you. We calculated one together. You're going to calculate a bunch. You're going to do this for several beliefs in several different areas of business, sales, marketing, whatever. And with a click of the button, you are going to see what they are costing you each year. So run the numbers. You will see what avoiding doing the inner work is costing your business year after year after year. So quick recap. We took a moment to plug back into what really made you do this in the first place, what your deep desires are, despite all of the chaos of the last 2 years that is still present with us. We talked about how the two parts of your mind work and how the subconscious mind is really the captain of your ship. And understandably, we've all made mistakes because we all thought that our conscious mind, our intellect, our rational thinking was really driving our business. It's not. And we talked about how our subconscious or our limiting beliefs can cause us to do things that undermine our businesses or cause us to avoid doing the things that will impact our businesses in a positive way. And they, again, impact time, team, and revenue, but peace, stress, fun, joy, fulfillment, all those things that for a lot of people right now, we are just craving more of. And now you have a pretty good idea of how much money just one of those subconscious limiting beliefs is costing you in both the near and distant future. You also have some actionable steps that, if taken consistently, will begin to kickstart the change from information to transformation. So the questions that remain for you are these. Number one, the same questions I asked myself, by the way. Are you okay with this? Are you okay with struggling, hustling, with diminishing your light, with consistently avoiding the thing that is going to cause the actual change? Are you okay with less time? Are you okay with a team that is not comprised of A players and a revenue that might be okay, but truly isn't good enough? Are you okay with the stress that this brings to your mind, body, spirit, family, and bank account? And above all, are you okay? And this one, usually when I ask it of myself, I know immediately because I feel the gut punch, but are you okay with knowing there is more joy, more fun, more fulfillment, more ease, more impact to be had, but not accessing it because you're more comfortable avoiding doing the inner work rather than leaning into doing the inner work? When I asked myself these things 10 years ago, the answer was no. It was a resounding no. And that's why I made the leap to start applying what I had been using to transform my life and my clients' lives to transforming my business and other people's businesses. And the payoff has been immense. Increased profitability and increased revenue year over year for all 7 years in business, because I no longer believe that my money is going to turn me into a crappy person. I work a 4-day work week because time is no longer my enemy. I take 4 to 6 staycations or vacations a year because I crave being unplugged, and I require it because I'm an introvert. It fills my cup. Being lazy and having lazy moments no longer means I'm a lazy person. I actually enjoy vacations now. I used to not, because I'm not sitting around worrying about my business catching on fire because my team is a dream team. Hiring doesn't scare me anymore. I'm able to financially provide services for my family, my neurodiverse kids, and quality time spent with them, going to baseball games, spending time talking after school, even though right now at 18 and 15, I get 3-word answers on a good day, but connecting with them and supporting their growth into amazing young men, and having, and this is a big one, having the space to address my own needs so that I continue to heal from childhood trauma, from a chronic illness that I didn't ask for, isn't my fault, but now is my responsibility to live with, so that my past does not determine my future. It does not have that power over me. And most of all, the freedom from the mental and emotional toll that carrying those beliefs took on me for years, for years. This is what's waiting for you. This is what your business is asking of you. Please do this so that I don't have to struggle anymore. That's what your business is saying to you. It's no longer enough in these times to just work on your business. In this emerging post-pandemic era, we're being asked to heal and to grow ourselves in order to grow brave, service-driven businesses. It's not an option anymore. It's not a nice to have. It's not an I'll get to it someday. The most successful business leaders will be the ones who do the inside out work combined with smart business building strategy and tactics. So today, I hope I've helped you answer the never-ending question of, why do I keep doing these things when I know better? And I hope that these actionable steps that I've given you help really kickstart this journey to change in you, both your brain and your mind. So for those of you who are ready to go out and get started on your own with what I've given you today, thank you so much for being here, and know that everybody at KRI is just absolutely rooting for your success. But if you're someone who is not interested in losing any more time trying to get answers to these questions from your business coach, when this is not his or her wheelhouse, you're not interested in losing, any other space, time, money, team along the way with trial and error, making progress only to find yourself backsliding significantly, just stay with me for a couple of extra minutes, because I want to present you the solution to that exhausting cycle. And before we do that, we're going to do one more quick thing. Close your eyes and take a deep breath again. Because one thing women overlook all the time is our guts and our intuition. We are told, don't pay attention to that. Intellect is king. So you're going to close your eyes and you're going to tune in for a second. Take a deep, deep breath. I want you to imagine having a calendar with lots of open space on it that doesn't make you nervous, that you can use for reading, yoga, meditation, exercise, art, music, naps, vacation, whatever speaks to your soul, without guilt, without anxiety, without worry that your business is going to implode. Imagine taking a vacation in your favorite place. The beach, the lake, the mountains, your favorite city, and being fully unplugged from your business because you have complete and total confidence in your team to handle whatever comes up in your absence. Your fears and doubts no longer have the ability to pull you up and out of that moment and into your laptop, away from all of the amazingness of where you are and who you're with. Imagine looking at your bank statement and feeling excitement and gratitude for every penny, knowing there is more where that came from. And as a result, you have the freedom to make choices about what that money does for you and for other people. Now take another deep breath and open your eyes. I want you to know this is what is available for you, not just for other people. This is not for the chosen few. It's for me. It's for you. It's for anyone who's willing to lean into doing the inside out work, despite being afraid to do so. And that's why I am so excited to say that the doors to the Amplified CEO are now open for application. The Amplified CEO is the only hybrid coaching and educational CEO development program that uses evidence-based practices from psychology and neuroscience to create new habits, mental habits, emotional habits, behavioral agility habits that are required to become the leader your business is asking you to be. Over 12 months, you learn skills in 8 key areas of personal mastery that will amplify your measurable business growth, as well as the deeper, more personal, soft ROI results like stress reduction, joy, fun, fulfillment, impact. Today was about one of those key areas, the subconscious mind. But the path to real transformation is holistic, and it's paved with skills mastery in 7 other areas, including dialing in desire and vision, using your conscious mind to your advantage, navigating your ego, which is the thing that talks to you and tells you all those nasty judgmental things about yourself, removing blocks to receiving more of everything that you desire, managing those difficult emotions like guilt and shame and anxiety and worry and fear, making powerful decisions, and getting into aligned and imperfect action that creates long-term change that serves your business growth. Myself and Dr. Kelly have over 50 years combined experience, education, and training that allows us to not only expertly, but safely guide you through the fears, the doubts, the beliefs, and your resistance to change, which is normal. So you can take your business to the next level by amplifying your genius work out into the market. Not with more hustle, not with more struggle, not with diminishing, not by avoiding. This is not a life coaching program, but I promise you it will change your life. It's a program designed for serious business owners who know that the one thing they've been avoiding is the exact thing that's going to open the door to new horizons, and that is doing the deep internal work. So this is what the program includes. We are going to do a live group kickoff call on Wednesday, April 6th, that will welcome you to the community and will help you set your goals for the outcome of the program. We'll review exactly how to show up, how to participate, how to get the most out of the program. For most women, that means how not to be a perfectionist inside this program and still get everything you need. If you can't make the live call, don't worry. We always record it and we'll share it with you so you can get started as soon as possible. It includes bi-weekly training modules that teach the pillars of my proprietary process for massive transformation. But again, information doesn't cause transformation. So with every single module, you are going to get homework, actionable steps like I gave you today, so that you can take what you learned, integrate it, and implement it into your business and how you're leading it. Because information without a path for change is not terribly helpful. So you get a video, you'll get an audio, and you'll get a transcription. Every other week in between when we drop information is an integration week. Why? Because what we found over the 6 years of offering this is that if people don't have enough time or space to learn and process and practice, they get completely overwhelmed. It's nearly impossible to get everything you need out of a program if you don't have space to integrate what you're learning in the program. So exhale, because this is not a pressure cooker program. This is not a race to the end. There's no final exam. Nobody's getting a grade. You have the time and space to work at your pace and repeat any modules that you know require a little more attention from you. So exhale. You get weekly hot seat coaching calls with me where you can sign up for dedicated time to get laser focused attention and personalized support around whatever is coming up for you in business wherever you are on your business journey. We also do weekly open group coaching calls that supplement the support you receive, especially for the modules you find more challenging or for something happening in business or life that's more challenging. It's the perfect way for you to just pop in, get the extra support that you need, and also learn powerfully and vicariously through the other group members. There is never a week where somebody comes to the call and says, I didn't really have anything to say, but holy cow, I got so much out of this. I got so much out of this. You also get a monthly process coaching call, a private call with the amazing Dr. Kelly Saginack. It's a 30-minute call to help you stay on track, taking action in alignment with your goals and removing resistance to progressing through the program. She'll also keep in touch with you week after week, checking in with you, making sure you're okay, helping you to continue to process what you're learning and how you're growing. We do all of this inside a private, not public-facing Facebook group with women just like you that you can relate to. An expert-run community where there's no competition, there is no undercutting. There are very clear, very healthy boundaries to support you showing up even when you're uncomfortable or afraid, where we celebrate your wins and we also talk about the things that didn't go so well, without any shame, without any apology, without any embarrassment. It is a safe community for you to show up fully as you are. If you know this is the thing for you, if your gut is, this is absolutely what I've been looking for, then I want you to go ahead and apply using the link that Dr. Kelly is going to drop for you in the chat right now. If you still have questions, keep listening. We realize that this is not for everyone. So let me help make it clear and easy for you to decide if you should apply. Number one, this is not a program for women who don't own a business, who are in their first year or two of business, or who are struggling to make ends meet. Your priority, your focus is getting things up and running and making sales so that you have some financial stability. Number two, this is not for women who only own product-based companies, but don't also own a service-based company, because yes, we have clients who own multiple companies. Our niche is service-based companies because we find there are very specific limiting beliefs for women who show up selling a service versus a product. Number three, this is not for women who want to remain solopreneurs. You don't need to want a huge team, but if you don't want any team at all and you just want to do this yourself, this is not the program for you. You'll get the most out of it if you either have a team or you're actively looking to build or rebuild a team if you lost your team during COVID. That happened to a lot of people. And again, this is not for women who would be better served only by therapy or counseling. So if you're struggling with depression, anxiety, trauma, or addiction of some sort that is not currently well managed, your best next step is likely therapy or counseling. I have a lot of respect for the boundary and line between coaching, consulting, mentoring, strategizing, and psychotherapy and counseling. They are not the same thing. If somebody tried to sell it to you that they are, they're not. We have lots of women in the program who are also in therapy, and it works very well with this program, but it is not a replacement. And finally, this is not a program for women who choose to hide everywhere they go. If you were a hider, but you don't want to anymore, come. We're going to love all over you about that. But if you love to get into programs with thousands of people and then disappear, this is not for you, because we keep our program enrollment at 45 or less at all times. This is how we get to know you intimately, your business or businesses intimately, give you incredibly personalized support at a time when everyone is scaling to $8 billion and thousands of people online. We are not doing that. We are not doing that. If you want to hide, this isn't for you. If you want to stop hiding, this is exactly for you. So the program investment can be made in one of two ways. And what I say to people, whether it's about this program or anything else that you're investing in, always pay in alignment with what encourages you to show up. Here's what I mean by that. If paying in full helps you feel all in, fully committed, pay in full. The investment for 12 months is $15K. If making a monthly payment helps you to renew your commitment month after month and helps you to show up and be consistent, pay monthly. The monthly investment is $13.50. We are opening 7 spots this round, 7. So if you're thinking of joining us, we are going to be reviewing applications until this Friday evening. The deadline for submitting applications is midnight Eastern this Friday. If you are a person who likes to get clear fast and take fast action, I like to reward brave, aligned action. No pressure, none of this like manipulation. If you don't buy today, it's going up $20,000 tomorrow. We don't do any of that nonsense over here. We don't do that. So, but if you're like, I'm afraid, but my gut says this is a yes, I want to reward you for taking action. So I am giving a special today only bonus for people who apply by midnight tonight. And so the first 5 people that come in by tonight, you are getting 90 days of private Voxer access to me. That is something I only give to the handful of one-on-one clients I work with throughout the year. And if you don't know what Voxer is, it's a private messaging app that I use with my private clients. It's the perfect way to get a little extra love and TLC, a little extra attention from me while you're kickstarting the program. It's a great way to accelerate the beginning part of the program and your results. And it's not something that you can buy from me separately. So again, to be clear, we're taking 7 total by Friday, but the first 5 that come in today, you get Voxer access with me as a bonus, and thank you. Because gifts are my love language, however, and I want you to begin to overcome some of your resistance around time and money and sales immediately. Anybody who enrolls and is accepted by Friday gets a $5,000 Results Accelerator digital training bundle. And that includes a full recording of a VIP day with me called Blow Up Your Money BS. And it is all about diving into money blocks so that you can begin to shift them and make back your investment in this program 1, 2, 3. I sold that for $2,000 to a group of people. This is a bonus that I'm giving to you. If you're one of those people that's like, I never have enough time, I never get my stuff done, every week I have this ridiculous to-do list, you're going to love the next bonus because it's a training called Schedule That with Dr. Kelly, who is a time management guru as far as I'm concerned. It's a training for those of you who just cannot seem to find enough time or who struggle with this feeling of time overwhelm and time scarcity every week. That's $1,000 training that Dr. Kelly is bonusing to all of you. And then finally, one of my nearest and dearest colleagues in the industry, Laura Wright, she is a sales expert. She is a person who taught me sales 7 years ago, bonused a training called How to Overcome Your Money Objections so you can impact sales in your own business. She is a top sales consultant for 6, 7, and 8-figure business owners. And in this training, she walks through how you walk your prospects through objections and resistance, and that the path to removing all buying resistance starts with you understanding your own buying objections and clearing them so you can help clear them for your potential clients. She's going to teach you the exact things that have contributed to me having a consistent 85 to 90% close rate when I was doing my own sales calls, and her having a consistent after, I don't know, she's 12 years in, I think, 90 to 100% close rate each month. So that's just my gift to you for enrolling and joining by Friday, getting your application in. If you're accepted by Friday, that's just a gift everybody gets. And again, we're only opening 7 spots this round. Now, tomorrow night, I am doing a live Q&A at 7 p.m. You're going to get a Zoom link in your email for anyone who wants to pop on and just ask me some personalized questions about the program, wants to connect with me, wants to have a conversation about how do I discern if this is my best next step, or not. So check your email because you'll get a replay of this session if you want to review anything, and you'll get the link to tomorrow's Zoom question. There are a few FAQs. I'm going to just go through them real quick. So if it checks off the box for you and you don't need to attend tomorrow, fine. I don't want you wasting any time. Number one, we're always asked, when will my application be reviewed and accepted or not? Dr. Kelly and I personally review them and turn them around within 24 hours. So if you apply now, you'll hear by tomorrow. If you apply tomorrow, you'll hear by Friday. Friday, you'll hear by Monday if we don't have a chance to get it out over the weekend. When are the coaching calls? Hot seats are every Tuesday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. Everyone is guaranteed one a month. Most people get more than that at this point. You can request your 15-minute time slot. There's a post that goes up in the Facebook group where you can just DM Dr. Kelly. They're recorded. And also if there's a call and you really want to come, but you can't because you got to take your kiddo to the doctor, or you have a client emergency that day, you can email us and say, hey, can you have Kelly talk about this today on the call? And I'll listen to the replay. No worries. We got you. We got you covered. Open group coaching is every Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern. There's no sign up for that. It's very casual. It's come, stay as long as you would like, pop in and leave if you need to, show up and ask for what you need, expect to receive what you need. You will. Once a month, we replace that Thursday call. It's the same time, but we do a 5-step process co-working call, which is specific to the proprietary process I told you about for reprogramming your subconscious mind and all of your beliefs. It's the perfect time to nail down the process because we want you walking out of the program with this process being a habit you use for the rest of your life and the rest of your business. That process alone will make you back the investment in the program, hands down, hands down. Your private call with Dr. Kelly is 30 minutes a month, and you book that between the two of you. There's a scheduler at whatever time is convenient for you. The next question I get is, what if I can't make a call and I have a question? As I said, you can email that in the day before and we'll take care of it for you. The next question I get is, do we offer refunds? And the answer is no, we do not. And the reason we do not is this: I cannot guarantee that you're going to show up and do the work. You will only get results if you do the work. I can guarantee that I will show up and deliver 110%. I can guarantee my team will show up and give 110%. What I can't guarantee is that you will. So if you don't show up and do the work, you're not going to get the results. So that's not terribly useful to either one of us. So the women who come into this program are very committed. Not to me. I'm committed to, I do all the work I teach in the program. They're committed to their outcomes and to their results and to their businesses. The last I get is, or the last two, I should say, is, what if I'm in another business program right now? Awesome. Great. The only recommendation we make is that you're not doing a mindset program while you're doing this. If you're in a sales, marketing, branding, strategic growth program, a certification program, this is the perfect complement to what you're going to be doing, because I expect your coach or consultant or strategist to ask you to be doing things you probably don't want to do. So let's get you out of your own way so you can do them and get some results. That's one of the biggest points of feedback we get about this program, is that this program helps them get ROI out of every other program they've ever been in. And lastly, what kind of niches do we work with? Just about everything. I'm going to rattle off a few: bookkeepers, accountants, financial advisors, attorneys, business coaches, health coaches, systems and ops experts, speakers, agency owners, public safety consultants, executive coaches, leadership consultants, chiropractors, doctors, you name it. You name it. Non-product based businesses, but we do have people who own multiple businesses, one of which is products. Okay, a couple of examples. Ellen Mintier, Profit First Professional, went from undercharging and tanking her sales to 10xing her revenue in 1 year. Alex Mills owned 2 companies made the brave decision to sell her product-based company as the result of going through this program, and opened up her bank account and watched multiple seven figures drop into her account for that sale, freeing up her time and her focus and her energy to focus on her growing family and developing her other business. Michelle Scribner, who was here before on the call, she's only 2/3 of the way into the program. She's raised her prices 3 times while in the program and can't keep up, has a waiting list of people who want to buy at her highest price right now. Kathleen Pringle, she's an executive career strategist, ran her numbers, said she is 158% up in her business revenue in the last year. I could keep going. I have one more. Jody Anderson was in corporate, left, joined the program. She owns Badass Marketing Moms. They do Facebook ads. Left her 6-figure corporate marketing job, took back her 2 hours of commute every single day, and replaced her income ×3 in 18 months while being a single mother and birthing a second child as a single mother. These are just the financial income outcomes, not the other things people have done, like written and published books, TEDx talks, all the other things. Most during a pandemic, we hear all the time, marriages are improved, weight is lost, I quit drinking, my parenting skills are so much better. One person even quit smoking, and we had somebody go through our program while going through chemotherapy. She took us on her phone into the chemo room and came to the calls, no excuses, while she was building a cancer support coaching company. So again, the link to apply is in the chat. At this point, hopefully I've covered most of your questions, but if not, I'm going to be hanging out in my yoga pants. Come hang out in your yoga pants tomorrow night at 7 here on Zoom. You're going to get that link in your email. But again, if you are a quick start and your gut says yes, use the link to apply now and secure one of the 7 spots. Get one of the 5 today only Voxer access to me bonuses. And if you're a slow start or a high fact finder and you need a little more information, you can either drop a quick question to Dr. Kelly now, or you can show up tomorrow for the Q&A call. If you want to step away and think about it for a couple of hours, but still want that Voxer bonus, just get your application in by this evening and you're good to go. Then Friday night, we close the enrollment period and we turn all of our attention back to serving our clients. So those of you who stayed for the extra time, I want to thank you for your time and attention. Thank you so much for being here with us today and for being willing to take that first step towards ending the cycles of sabotage, of being the bottleneck in your own business. As promised, Dr. Kelly is going to drop the link to the cost calculator, which is your bonus for staying to the end of the workshop, so you can see for yourself. I mean, maybe this is the kick in the butt you need to say, I need to do this work. Go run your numbers. If you're not okay with that, get your application in and let's do this work. This is my way of saying thank you to you for sharing time and space with us today. So I am crazy excited to welcome those of you who are applying and are making the leap to do this work in the Amplified CEO family. I want to welcome you. I cannot wait to do this work with you. I always feel like it's such an honor to be a guide to so many brilliant women doing life-changing work in the world. I look forward to walking beside you every step of the way, along with my team. And to everyone else, I'm sending you off into the rest of your day and week with so much love. Thanks again for being here. Take care.